Sennheiser G3 wireless mic set, the most cost-effective way to get broadcast quality dialogue in your videos. Released in 2013, these almost 6-year-old wireless mics are still sold new today for around £500, or if you're in America, $500. Now that may seem quite steep, and for some newer filmmakers it is quite a lot of money, but when compared to the like-for-like alternatives, these wireless mics represent incredible value. Also, if you're willing to look on the pre-owned market, you can find these sometimes for around sub £300, and at that point, these represent incredible value. The kit comes with the ME2 sub-miniature Lavalier microphone. Now that is a small diaphragm condenser microphone with an omnidirectional pickup pattern. May sound confusing, but all it means is that it's perfect for picking up and isolating the human voice even in noisy environments. The transmitter and receiver work via a 3.5mm audio jack and transmit your audio over UHF frequencies. Again, this all sounds very technical, but essentially it's as close to a plug-and-play wireless mic set as you can get. The auto-searchable frequencies will automatically connect the transmitter to the receiver, meaning it really is as close to plug-and-play as you're likely to get, and incredibly beginner-friendly. These transmitters will also work at a range of up to 100 meters, which is absolutely insane. If you're working 100 meters away from your camera and trying to get the dialogue for an interview or something, well then, good luck, because that's just a ridiculous distance to be working over. But it's put there for a level of accessibility and ease of use. You know that it's going to work within that 100-meter range perfectly. So anything within a realistic distance, say 10 meters, is definitely gonna be perfect for this wireless mic set. So with all that said, let's look at the good bits of the Sennheiser G3 wireless mic set. First up is the build quality. It's always the first thing you're gonna notice, and the build quality of this set is absolutely superb. It's a metal and plastic construction that feels incredibly premium in hand. Now we've had ours for around 5 years, and barring the odd wall wound and little scratch, they are as good as new and have never missed a beat in that whole time. The build quality is that good in this set that it feels like it's from a price point at least twice what you would pay for the G3. The ease of use is a huge factor with this mic set. It's incredibly important when you're working on a fast-paced set or something like a documentary that you need equipment that's going to work quickly and easily, and it's not going to be something that's going to hold you up. And the G3 from Sennheiser definitely fits within that. It's as close to a plug-and-play wireless mic set as you're likely to get, and for that, it is incredibly easy to use, even for beginners. The noise rejection of the ME2 microphone is also really good. To be fair, you should say that about any good lapel mic, wireless or wired. They are very good at isolating background noise. So if you're working either outdoors or in a slightly more noisy environment, a wireless lapel mic like the G3 will save you time and time again. And the final good bit is the audio quality. And before we move on to talk about that, it makes most sense to actually hear what these microphones sound like. It is, after all, the most important part of any review when we're talking about audio gear. So without any further ado, let's switch over to the Sennheiser G3 now. But firstly, don't let the massive change in tone from the studio mics to the lapel mics trick you. Yes, the difference is going to be large because the EQ of the microphones will be completely different, but let's try and listen to the merits of this microphone in its own right. Firstly, and almost kind of serendipitously, it is massively raining today in the studio. You may have heard it on the studio microphones earlier, which are kind of hoisted above my head. Now, hopefully the lapel mic would do a good job at getting rid of that background rain noise. So pay attention to that if you can. I think it provides a very close, warm and direct vocal sound. It's quite a pleasant sound on the ear and one that's going to be very good at cutting through the mix of your videos. The fact that it rejects so much background noise and has such a direct EQ will mean the production value or the perceived value of your videos will increase massively if you use this microphone. So with all that said, let's switch back to the studio mics and look at the bad points of the Sennheiser G3 wireless mic set. First up in the bad points is the build quality. Now, before you hit the comment sections and say you've already listed that in the good points, bear with me. The build quality is absolutely incredible, yes, but the ME2 microphone is so small and so delicate, you'll be nervous of it the whole time, especially if you're interviewing or filming with someone that isn't used to working with camera equipment. they are very likely to be heavy-handed with this tiny little condenser microphone, and it is obviously very easy to break. The other point with the build quality, again, is with that microphone, is that people are quite likely to pick up the transmitter with the microphone cable. Oh, when you see it happen, it's like nails scratching down a blackboard. It is the most horrendous thing to see, but people do it all the time, and it is such a teeny tiny cable that it is likely to break. So just bear that in mind. If you're with anyone that's heavy-handed or unfamiliar with the equipment, just work with them with kid gloves, because the smaller components in the set are going to be very easy to break. The EQ is a little on the dull side. To be fair, you would say that about any lapel or lavalier microphone. They do tend to be a little bit duller. They do tend to have not so much happening in the top end, that sibilance, that brightness that you get with voices. And that's just because of how they're designed. They're designed to reject noise, they're designed to be discreet and have a small diaphragm. And because of that, they do sound a little bit duller than something like a shotgun microphone. So more than a bad point, it's just more of a word of caution. If you're looking at buying any lavalier mic set, bear that EQ thing in mind. So in summary, this is my all-time favourite microphone and transmitter set on the market. Now, we get to use a lot of microphones, but this is one that is always in my camera bag and always gets use, even 5 years after we first bought it. It stood the test of time, it's never missed a beat, and has saved us more times than I can count. It truly is one of the best purchases we have ever made here. So if you're in the market of trying to take the production value of your videos up to the next level, but don't quite have the budget to match, then I would definitely recommend the Sennheiser G3 wireless mic set. It performs at a level of the lavalier mics that cost twice this, and for around £500, you will easily double the production value of your videos. So that's been my grab and go review of the Sennheiser EW100 G3 wireless mic set. That was a mouthful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.